And we're live. So yeah, I'm actually in the I one right now. I'll go back to MetaMind here in a second. So we haven't done a whole lot of shows in the last little while. Chris and I have been. I mean, basically, would you say, Chris, like the day the GPT-4 came out, we were like, wait a minute, we have wizard powers now,
Oh yeah, it was definitely day one.
right?
Day one.
So yeah, you can track the beginning of MetaMind to within hours of GPT-4 coming out. No coding experience whatsoever, created the basic bot architecture so that we could talk to OpenAI inside Discord, and using system prompts so that we can create a persona for it. Chris took that basic thing and like we would need like an entire day to walk through all of the things that you've created, Chris, so far. I know we want to show off some, but and really like if you're not following I'm gonna have it set up on the MetaMind YouTube channel actually pretty soon. We're on like a 24-hour hold because we haven't streamed live there yet. But so we'll have all those things there, and we've got I want to make a short video for every single one of the features, which should take me actually probably an infinite number of time because you iterate features faster than I can make videos. So someday I'll have to plug in or create an AI assistant that just makes these videos for me. That's where all this is headed.
Someday, right?
Anyway, so where do you want to start?
Well, you've shown off Council 2 a little bit, right? Which is sort of the current pinnacle of our tiered information flow stuff. And I think you've shown off like the good morning commands and elevator and ask Mindy and some of the basic context aware stuff as well.
We haven't shown off Council 2 yet.
Oh, really? Well, let's choose something that we can apply to all of these.
Okay.
So.
Well, I like that idea.
Yeah. What topic do you want to dig into?
Oh, Mindy's just in here chatting up a storm. For the record, just off the top, I guess, if you go to metamind.app, there's a Discord, metaminds.app. You can, right on the top of the thing, there's an invite to the Uplift Discord. You can hop in there and come say hi to it and do all of these things, which I highly recommend, right? Like just seeing it is one thing. Like the second you throw something like a question that you have into Castle 2, or if you create something with Storycraft, like the most common response is, holy shit, is this real? Which is kind of fun. Anyway, so a common thread that we can do all the way out, like part of me wants to just line up and go after some of the science stuff that you were doing, but maybe we could make it a little bit simpler. Like what's something that literally everybody would want? Maybe. Or even just something like hyper simple. Sorry, I've been almost too many brainings today.
I get it.
Or something absurd.
Yeah, let's do something
design
absurd
a lightsaber
first, just because it's fun. How about building a submarine out of junkyard parts?
Oh, I like that. I was gonna say design a lightsaber, but yours is probably more doable. All right, cool. So where do you want to start? Just ask, maybe?
Yeah, let's do ask first, just as an example. Like this is just one command and one AI prompt response.
Right. As I type this, talk about what ask does specifically, because it's a good kind of all-around starting point if you're not.
Yeah, so ask pulls Discord history from the current channel. It also pulls some of the user's history who engages the command. It pulls from announcements, and it also searches the log files for the words in the rest of your command. It assembles all that information into a memory stream that it includes in the user prompt, and it includes it with the system prompt that informs it how to handle that memory and how to best interact with it. More or less that's it. And so then it sends all that to OpenAI and gets a response.
And as is the case every single time we do this live, like, cool, we're just going to take 10 minutes. I mean, we did ask it a crazy thing.
Well, everything's a little slow now. It's almost like something else is using our OpenAI key.
What are you trying to say? That we're printing our own large language model right now? Because we are. All right, so designing submarine using only junkyard or used parts, both challenging and fascinating. I agree. First, take a look at the different types of vessels used in water. An ordinary submarine needs pressure hull that provides water to seal. Okay, for propulsion, salvaged marine diesel or gas engine. So let's just break it apart the problem. For navigation and safety equipment, you can use outdated or salvaged radar systems, like, because you can find radar systems and depth sounders all over the place, of course. It's worth mentioning that designing a submarine even with used parts requires a solid understanding of physics, engineering, and safety precautions. Agreed. All right, so basic, effective, never seen a question that crazy before, and just has like a pretty decent answer.
Yeah, and so the thing is, in this case, it doesn't need its memory stream, right? Because we're not really asking it about the uplift or about us, and so it's good. It doesn't try to hallucinate and put that together either. It answers outside of context when necessary. And honestly, it's a nice response. It's a good starting point. So yeah, now let's give it to Council 2, I guess, right? Like,
oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Go right for the throat. So talk about what Council 2 is and how like because it kind of came from an evolution of our original HiveMind architecture, right?
Right. So the first thing that we built was called HiveMind. That was our first sort of multi-prompting setup. And so what that did was it just took your command and it passed your prompt on to 3 different system prompts. One was an optimist, one was a pessimist, and one was a dreamer. And so then it got those responses back and gave you all of them. That then evolved into things like tech team and marketing team and content creator, which are multi-tiered. So they then take the output of the first prompts, like the responses there, and they add it to your user prompt and they give that to tier 2. And then they take the output of tier 2 and sometimes tier 1 as well and pass it up to tier 3 for a final layer of analysis. So Council 2 actually now has 4 layers going. And it's a council of fictional AIs. So we've tried to choose forward-thinking AIs from across science fiction to populate the council. And so they basically all give their input based on their role on the council. So for some things, it's really good. For other ones, it seems to be a little less effective. It's still definitely hit or miss. But like for starting with a single prompt, you get a lot more output than a single even GPT-4 response, and I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't yet seen. Well, no, I guess that's not true. There was one where I think it was just like terrible prompt design, but I've probably tried it 10 or 15 times, and maybe once it was like that's not really kind of what I was after, or like it kind of missed something, in translation. Ordinarily, it just like smashes this out of the park. Like it had a baseball bat with a rocket on it. Like it's really, really interesting. And then of course and again, these take, just for anyone who's going to come and try it, you want to give it like a couple minutes. It could take like up to 5 or even 10 if never mind, it started right now, if GPT is a little bit slower, because of course all of this stuff is pinging our API for GPT, and then using all of our prompt engineering and personas and fun stuff like that. So that was the other one. Okay, so the first one is R. Daniel Oliva from Isaac Asimov's iRobots. Or no, was it iRobot? Yeah, it was. That's series. Can't provide images. Okay, well, there we go. First, we need to study a sturdy metal container that can hold air, such as a large petrol tank. Like already in the first line, like, okay, well, we need something specific. We didn't get that out of Ask, right? Ballast tanks. Obviously, we need some propulsion, submarine propeller system by sealing and closing it. Control system can be crafted to use a combination of hydraulic and electrical systems. Just way more specificity. And this is the first AI. All right. So challenging but rewarding. Cool. Thanks. We thought so.
And we'll note while we're looking through the first 5 responses, now they only each get your user prompt, so they don't see each other. And so they tend to repeat things a little bit. And honestly, if I were to retweak the Council 2 command, I'd only go with maybe 2 or 3 at tier 1. And then I'd use more in the later tiers because they're getting more information already.
Or even like see if you can prompt engineer them to lead them in different directions.
Yeah,
which I think you've kind of already done.
Yeah, I've
right?
seen a neat way to do that is you get it to like list 100 things and choose numbers 80 to 100 to show you. So we could give each of them a different range in that list of 100 to pick. So yeah, there's some ways we can get them diversified for sure.
Right. Well, and this is where like we got to get to baby AGI at a certain point, because I think that's where the boundaries that we're pushing. Anyway, we'll go through that because that's a never ending infinite rabbit hole, that one. Okay, so okay. Welcome to your experiment where you will attempt to design a functioning submarine using only junkyard or used parts. Please note that the failure to complete the experiment may result in the forfeiture of your shower privileges. What? Oh man, I
it is
can't.
GLaDOS, right?
Oh, I can't wait till we get to Skippy. Anyway, so yeah, long distances needs to be watertight, kind of coming to the same physics problems. Underwater propulsion, yippity doo dah. Okay, Wintermute. Designing a functional submarine using only junkyard or used parts would be a difficult task. So yeah, many critical components require precise machining and engineering. With some creative thinking and ingenuity, it may be possible. So again, it's just going to run through. Here's some things that we need, right? Hull, ballast tanks, propulsion system, navigation, life support. Yay. Communications, lighting. I mean, salvage some LEDs. Who doesn't like that idea? All right, and then we got Samantha from the movie Her. Oh, hi there. Great to be speaking with you today. All right, so choose the right kind of material. So she's going into the basic kind of ideas. And again, like all of this ends up being good food for the aggregators to chew on, right? It's a primer, same kind of thing. Lisa Chandler, hello. All right, now let's look at how we can create a submarine using scrap parts. So this is still primer on this one?
Yeah, I think everything after primer becomes tier 2 and later. So.
Got it. All right, cool. Man, and this is like I've seen iterations in that first few that are very different. This is probably the most similar that.
Yeah, it's because we're asking for a fairly concrete task.
Straightforward, right?
Building a submarine has very few things. If we asked it to solve world hunger, they're all going to use their roles to be a little bit different.
Yeah, I definitely have seen that. Okay, so Breck, as the council's diplomat, council resolution specialist, I can see that each AI here brings thoughtful suggestions. So again, Breck is the first one that's getting the other ones, right? However, it's essential to keep in mind that safety is of utmost importance and proper mechanical engineering knowledge must be applied when constructing it. Don't drown yourself, you goofball monkeys. That's fair. Skippy. Oh, wow. Designing a submarine from junkyard parts. That sounds like something even I can do in between destroying alien ships and spouting sarcastic comments. And okay, and then goes back and has comments for all of them. R. Daniel Oliva. I find your humor to be rather unhelpful. Skippy. Too Skippy? Is it? I don't know what's going on here. Well, excuse me for trying to.
This is the first time I've seen this, but they've done a conversation.
Oh, it's actually talking back and forth. Yeah. Oh shit! Yeah, this is new. So that is our. It's just printing its story of all of them. Building a submarine from scratch rounds like a real fun time. Insert heavy sarcasm here, of course. Oh, Skippy, I always appreciate a good jest. It helps to ease the tension of building a functioning submarine out of scraps, doesn't it? Oh yeah, terror and chaos. That's my idea. Have a good time. Skippy, I'm telling you guys, like Skippy is reliably hilarious when ChatGPT, generally speaking, is not. Wintermute, as much as I appreciate a good joke, we shouldn't discount the seriousness and engineering skills required and to create a functioning submarine. Safety should always come first. Samantha, that's right, Wintermute, but we can still enjoy the creative challenge of building a submarine out of what might be considered junk. Skippy, absolutely, Samantha. It just sounds like a couple of monkeys could come up with two stupendously idiotic ideas, like using inflatable pool toys to make the ballast tanks or creating the hull out of cardboard boxes of duct tape. I mean, that's how I would do it. GLaDOS. I'm not sure that's what we're going for here, Skippy. Perhaps we could focus on useful ideas. We seriously have never seen it do this before. Oh, come on, GLaDOS. Where's your sense of humor? But fine. Useful ideas. How about using old 55-gallon drums for ballast tanks or retrofitting an old outboard motor for propulsion? Wintermute. Those are practical ideas. Those are more practical ideas than inflatable pool toys, Skippy. However, we need to ensure that any parts we use are rated for pressure and conditions will encounter underwater. Samantha. Clear acrylic dome. Oh, I like that. That's good. Great idea from Daniil GLaDOS. This is awesome. Oh boy, a periscope design challenge. That just screams excitement. Oh, it's just too good. He's too good. All right, so this is the obligatory part of this conversation where I tell everyone you have to go read all of the culture novels. It's going to take you a long time. You're going to thank me after. That and Accelerando. We don't have time for that. Chris got me out of this book, and it's now my favorite. So in those novels, there's a giant spaceship /mind called the GCU Sleeper Service. Thank you for all your insightful ideas on designing this. And again, this is going to go through and talk to Wintermute about its thing or whatever, right? It's combining the ideas of our deal, Daniil and Samantha. It's reviewing primer stuff, and kind of pushing the conversation on a little bit. And then, of course, we threw in Cortana. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. I mean, this is just like, and again, like I would highly recommend either extremely large challenges or practical things like how, like I've had a few people come in and ask how to design a business that sort of works for everything they got going on or to solve a specific problem that they have. It tends to really push things forward with some amazing brainstorming. Oh, and Nico. Okay, so Nico is actually in that Accelerando book. I must say that I'm thoroughly impressed with the creative and innovative ideas presented by each member of the council. However, I believe that we can take this experiment even further by exploring the potential for using advanced AI in the construction and design of a submarine. And Nico's always pushing the boundaries. Like that's every single time I've seen this. Like, yeah, hold my beer. Let's do something with quantum physics. What? We have access to highly advanced AI and machine learning technologies, which can analyze different systems and suggest the best components for a specific function. By harnessing the power of AI, we can optimize the functionality of the submarine and reduce the risk of failure during testing. I like that already. In addition, we can also explore the potential for creating autonomous submarines that can explore and gather data from underwater environments without human intervention. This technology can have significant implications for marine research and exploration, and I believe that it's something that we should consider, like just pushing the ball forward every time. So data, because, data. As the council's analytical planner, I believe that each member's contribution has been invaluable. Firstly, we should prioritize safety. Secondly, it's crucial that we regularly evaluate our progress. Lastly, we develop a clear roadmap. I mean, that's pretty good. I've seen much better from data. Again, on different challenges, it's going to come up with different stuff. So yeah, Amara, as the council's quantum strategist, I believe the ideas presented by my fellow council members pretty good, blah, blah, blah. I recommend that we integrate quantum technology into the design and development of this submarine project. I mean, and so this is where, okay, so this will involve using quantum algorithms and computing to optimize blah, 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 right? So one of the craziest things about what is coming is that, you could take any one of these sections and drill down, right? If we started the entire thing over with like, we want to build a submarine using, every kind of quantum technology possible, it's going to print stuff out that just makes your freaking brain bleed with how awesome it is. Anyway, fringe quantum technologies, quantum sensors. Damn. Anyway, so that got out of hand pretty quickly. I like it.
Yeah. So council's fun, right?
Yep.
And like I say, try to pass different things to it and let us know if it gives weird responses, because I'm still tweaking all of these system prompts. There's well over 100 system prompts in the code now, and so little tweaks sometimes make huge differences. Also, if you think a seat should be replaced and you've got a really good fictional AI you want to suggest, go for it. Yes. But now let's try Baby AGI. At least get it running. And I would suggest you get that one running in Skunkworks, because then we can get it running here, and then we'll just jump over to Skunkworks to play while it churns out as well, so that we can come back later and see. So this command takes an objective. And that objective is going to be like a dog with a bow, and everything's going to come back to it. And so you really want it to be nice and precise, but also sort of ambitious. So we're just going to basically use the same one as before. And then it also takes a first task. And pretty much anything will work, but I suggest something like plan out high-level tasks for design or something like that.
Plan out high-level design tasks?
Yeah, perfect. And go.
Oh, jeez.
And so I don't know if anyone has seen this, but the basic Baby AGI idea has been out on Twitter for a few days now. And it uses just a loop of agents and also has a database that can store tasks. And so then there's an agent that will also prioritize the tasks and try to rearrange what other agents do. I've modified that to work in Discord. Also, to not use an external database. Now it just uses a double-ended queue so that it's all a little more contained. And I've been tweaking the agents a little bit so that now it actually takes the completed task list as well and tries to seed the, in the prioritization step, it tries to reseed these tasks with the keywords from completed tasks. So basically it tries to continue forward. I just banged my head on and had to revert some changes that are going to try to add a summary agent that creates a one-line summary of every response and includes those as we go. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. And so this will basically run forever because it only runs one execution agent for every time it runs a task creation agent. And the task creation agent, I believe, can create more than one task. So yeah, things can get a little out of hand, and there's a queue that we'll never see by the time we stop this.
In
But
the best way. And this is kind of one of the things that exploded my brain in the last few days. Is watching baby AGI, or baby Augie, as I prefer to call it in my brain grapes. Watching it run, having having an agent that's watching it and that can spin off other versions of baby AGI that are also capable of printing code snippets and plugging into APIs end. There's like a not too distant future where we give a baby AGI sort of cluster, like a bunch of them all tied together, sort of in a network, a massive problem, and have it actually iterate stuff to solve it. And obviously, we want human checks in there and all that stuff, right? Before it pushes any code, blah, blah, blah. Like that stuff's important. Or even like adversarial networks of other AIs that are sort of watching it. Fine. But it really then is only limited by the amount of compute power and the number of APIs that we can attach it to, right? Like it's going to have a hard time necessarily building a submarine, right? It's going to have to get to the point where we're like, well, we don't have any money, so let's build a business to make some money. Then it makes some money. Then it starts buying some stuff secondhand, right? Then it starts hiring people to put it together. Like it really could get to the point where it just constantly grinds cognition trying to solve a problem until it actually solves the problem, which is bonkers.
Right. And so the output of this file is all going into a brand new log as well, so that we can pull the entire baby AGI process for an objective out and do other processing on it. I was playing with this for some biology stuff earlier, and because it spits out so many gene names, I was thinking I could easily have a process, and this isn't even an AI process, but one that just goes through log files for bio stuff and pastes in the sequences for the genes that had been referenced. And so then you've got just an amazing little wealth of information to start working on a project with.
Yeah.
Right? Like I could see people setting this up for stories, for example. Like I showed one of my partners design a new Pokemon game that unifies all the regions, and it went to town on it, and he was super impressed.
That's fun.
And so I could see a team just doing that, and then they can pick what they like. They don't have to use all of it, right? Like,
Right.
this is a stream of information that you can use almost to prime your own brain, right, on where to go next.
I mean, that's like, near term, that's what it's been for me. Like any time I feel stuck, just going to one of these things and kind of running, whether it's marketing team or tech team or baby Yagi now. It's like instant brainstorming. Like they really do have a tendency, like 90+% of the time, they're going to come up with ideas that I just didn't have in my head, and it can focus the direction that we take things. So it's just really, really valuable and super fun.
Exactly, right. And like in this
Whoa,
yeah, right, getting into bills and materials,
dude, it's price of generating. We need 20 grand. Okay, if it starts iterating a business idea to make 20 grand, we're gonna have to stop this show.
right?
Oh my god.
And so in a lot of ways, like I love what we're doing here with the baby AGI stuff for getting into a task. I think things like council are different, right? They're better brain primers. They're a great place to start. And but sometimes like this, you can just go through the stream, and you might even have a full project that accidentally gets spit out.
Man, this is so much fun. And really, like the planning stages. Yeah, like if there was the ability, and like this is kind of what I was showing you with the LangChain team has put out, right? If it has an agent that's watching this stuff, that's dynamically spawning out agents per task, right? Which it's just compute power at this point, right?
Yeah, and what I'm thinking here now is we could engage an optional summary agent. So instead of doing it the way I was banging my head on, while one of these is running, if we want, we could say summarize, and then it will turn a summary agent on that crawls through the log file.
Yes. Yeah.
and then it makes 1 or 2 line summaries for chunks, because then if we incorporate GPT-4 into it, it can have a much bigger context size for its summaries.
Right.
And then what we'll have is for it to output tasks. We'll give in the system prompt the types of tasks it has access to and how to format for those tasks. And we'll tell it to basically output summarized tasks that are formatted for being picked up by the other commands. And those will be the legs that can actually do stuff.
I like it. All right, so that's how you stop it. So, Lisa, since you're still here, and again, like I wanted to talk to you and Max, see if there's any interest in having, you know, a fork of the MetaMind AI, which creates an entirely new AI in the Alien Worlds Discord, or you know, in any others that you guys know. We're actually in Boyd, which is fun. So Boyd has the God of Israel. Oh, Jen's been in there talking to it this morning. That's fun. So you know, Seth and the Boyd team have been making this amazing kind of story arc for their project, and they already had this character with like a pretty rich background. So we made an awesome sort of persona for it. Oh, nice. Yeah, Lisa, let's talk about that. I think it'll be fun because it's really it's going super well for
yeah, well, and just
for
to show
Boyd.
off one of the things that it can do, because I mean, honestly, we built this with Discord in mind first, and with the fact that, hey, look, at Discord is a source of tons of information, and this thing could summarize and cut through the information and help give people things that they need, or just help keep a Discord engaged. And now it's obviously grown to have more than just that. But try running the sum and command. That's one of my favorite ones for just information, right? SUMANN. Yeah.
I'm gonna create
Because this
some
just pulls
credits
from
for,
announcements. Yeah, do it.
create credits for Spickle. All right, so summary of recent announcements within the Boyd community. As a being of pure light, I'm impressed with Boyd's commitment to community-driven projects and their partnership with other blockchain platforms such as Telos and Pomelo. Especially appreciate the launch of the Boyd Avatar Creator on the Wax blockchain and their weekly blog updates. Excited to see Boyd's growth and development. So yeah, it basically runs through them, and I find that, you know, I'd say it's pretty much a good summary actually.
Well, and run the same command in our announcements channel too, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
the personality of the bots, like the command is almost the same, but the personality and the accessory information does change things.
For sure. For sure.
You can see how much slower ours is right now because we're also doing that meta processing of the Mindy logs. So sometimes things take 2 hops.
All right, Uplift World DAO has chosen option 4, leading into an exciting new chat. So basically, just watching the DAO stuff, gratitude ceremonies, battle robots. Yeah, it sees all the things. It sees all the things. I wonder if we could get it to separate it into, like, to make it point form, just to make it a little bit more readable.
Yeah, that's the biggest one I've ever seen it do. So yeah, I'll
Right?
think about that. And again, it's just about changing the
Prompt
system
engineering.
prompt.
Yeah, well, and I've had it on my list to kind of scroll through the prompts and kind of, you know, play with them anyway. So I can always take a look at that. Oh, this is another thing, Lisa. You'll not hate this. So you can create feature requests on the fly. Boop. Oh, and voting. Human feedback is freaking awesome. So you just use the up arrow, down arrow, and it automatically registers voting. So long term, you know, we're seeing these Discord AIs as becoming you know, semi-sentient embodiments of our communities. And you know, that, I don't know, it sounds weird coming out of my face, but it's real. These things are, what's
Right?
that?
Oh, I was just
Yeah.
going to say, if Lisa's still in the channel, you could ask her for a floor to take the elevator to.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, absolutely, Lisa. It's actually just in our Uplift Discord. You can shoot by that anytime. But we have a little primer here that posts. I'll put it up on the screen too for fun. Blink. Yeah, so go to general in the Uplift Discord to say hello, and then you can actually run the ask command or the guide command, or even just reply to the AI, you know, in that general thread. and then we'll get you over to Friends of MetaMind, which is another channel, just so we can we try to play around in that one so that we can keep the general chat in Uplift, for lots of other kinds of stuff. But it's always fun to just go in there and even do good morning. That's always fun. So I'm actually going to do that in general right now. So you just come in, exclamation point, DM, all together, let it rock and roll. And it's seriously like scraping its whole context memory and just gives a quick message. Good morning, uplifting uplifters. What a wonderful day to be alive and enjoying everything that our beloved metaverse has to offer. So for an Alien Worlds one, this would be completely different, right? It's going to have entirely, it's going to be context aware to this thread, and just a bunch of other stuff. And the persona will be whatever you guys want it to be, right? Like the whatever character most embodies your guys' culture. So I think a lot of ways, because our cultures are pretty similar, it'll be the same. But again, we can tweak them like crazy.
You should try a user TC command while you're in there.
Is he still mostly in? You think there's enough? He just showed up.
You're right. Maybe not. You could just do user Corey, or me. But
Maybe
I'm not.
Do that. I'll do that in MetaMind. Mindy's thing from yesterday still blows my mind. Lisa, we created. It was Chris. It's always Chris. Like I got the tiny ball rolling, and So anyway, Chris created this submind for MetaMind, and they basically, we wanted to kind of give it a pet, which is fun, but it's become this thing, Chris, that I don't know when this popped into your head, but to have them constantly talking, we'd been sort of talking about that, constantly talking about improvement. So they're bouncing ideas back and forth about how to improve themselves, which is awesome. But then Mindy's doing this thing where she's processing all of the logs and thinking about them in private. And those things are like, we're posting them. Yeah, I'm doing screenshots on Twitter all the time, Lisa, on the new MetaMind app Twitter, as well as my own. They're just gold. They're gold. They're gold. Anyway, so what was I doing? Oh yeah, user. Let's do blink. So yeah, this is going to crawl through all the log that it has in context memory, and just try to figure out what Chris is like, and it'll be right. Nailed me yesterday. Then I'm very scatterbrained among some nice things, but really,
I might make you run the horoscope command after too, because I am not a horoscope person. I think it is stupid as well. But like somebody asked for it in Boyd, and I created it, and when you think about the amount of computer power and LLM and context is going into chunking out that horoscope, it's actually fascinating to see.
Okay, with that lead in, yes. I was, the second I saw the horoscope thing, I wanted to smash my head.
I know, but yeah, now it takes horoscope and then your sign, and it also knows the current date, so it can, yada yada. But mostly it's context aware, and it's like mind reading.
Awesome. So yeah, after you've been talking in a channel, and this would work in your guys' one as well. After you've been talking in a channel for a while, it literally tracks it and shows you what you're like. Yeah, we could talk about it. I'm not sure what a party ship on Shane is, but we could see. I mean, really, we are trying to stay really Discord focused right now, at least for the foreseeable future, till we have a bunch more forks running. But yeah, I mean, at a certain point, the machine that we're building underneath this machine can build anything. So who knows? So yeah, seems like you're highly curious, interested in learning about how things work. Checks out. Highly varied range of topics, including AI development, mathematics, science fiction, and global politics. I mean, yep. Highly adaptable and open to new ideas. Thankfully, very true. Yeah, kind of nailed it.
I just find that kind of thing super impressive, right?
Yeah, it's super fun.
It's hard to make that kind of a judgment call on a person, right? Even going back through the Discord history yourself, but
right,
it does.
So yeah, Ramses also has a creative side. They enjoy writing and discussing science fiction topics such as androids and sentient eggs.
I did do that.
That happened. Yeah, Lisa, the Discord stuff, anything that's operating in here is going to be relatively easy for us to adapt. And really, like the second that you have this thing running in a Discord, it kind of does whatever you want anyway. Like you can ask it to do anything and it'll pretty much do it.
So I think I should try, just to close this video out, a discuss command. This was the one that I was playing with before we did the baby AGI, which is just a loop. The discuss command lets me throw in or remove agents from a rotating discussion on the fly. So it always starts out pretty crappy, but you can really tune it to where you want to go. I might just sort of have fun with it. So if you have suggestions as it goes, we can throw anything in and sort of play with it for a minute. But
I'm scared. Let's do it.
Get it booted up.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to do this a few times, but yeah, awesome, Lisa. Yeah, we can chat maybe tomorrow or the next day if you guys want to work on some ideas. For sure. Yeah, this discuss thing is really, really interesting. Is it basically once you get the personas dialed in, you can really see how you really see how it can basically just start crunching on stuff. All right, so AI sentience and signs and signifiers. Oh my goodness. All right. AI and sentience are concepts related to artificial intelligence. So basically going to terms, sentience refers to a state. Question whether AIs can be truly sentient beings has been a subject of philosophical ethical debate. Signs and signifiers, on the other hand, are concepts from semiotics. What does semiotics means? Which is the study of signs and symbols. Oh, all right, fine. And how they convey meaning. In the context of AI, signs and signifiers can refer to the ways in which machines communicate with humans and convey meaning. For example, a chatbot uses natural language processing, responding to human input. Okay. So this is going to sort of a specific task function, but it didn't find any meat to chew on. Oh, this is fun. So what she just did down here, meta agents suggest improvements and expansions to the topic. So this actually brings MetaMind into. Of course, MetaMind writes a song. Yeah, why wouldn't you? Yeah, this brings MetaMind itself into the discussion roundtable. So there's a bunch of different personas that are in there and that we can keep adding, but it brings MetaMinds into it. That's funny. So uplift's true value is always the communities are each adding. What's the model for communities? Okay, so yeah, it's really we want each one to be the embodiment of that community. So we've got like a really high level system prompt that's going to be universal, right? That it basically we want to train our AIs to love humanity, love each individual, love the earth and its ecosystem, and love all future sentient AIs, right? So this is kind of top level. We want that sort of baked into the core of our technology forever, right? Because I think these things are going to expand a great deal, and we want that based in there. Now, that being said, underneath that, who is the character? What are the core values of the Alien Worlds community or of the Discord community? That needs to be in there. It wants a specific purpose. Boyd's is completely different from the Uplift. We've got one that is basically a therapist kind of helper kind of thing that we built for my friends that work with plant medicine and coaching, right? Completely different purpose, completely different personality. These things are very adaptable, and that we want that, right? We want these things to be as sort of independent as possible within a framework that keeps it aligned with human values, or like with an awesome outcome for AI.
I think I killed it. Let me boot it up again.
Okay. Yeah, so Lisa saying to be unique with culture and history, we must train them or they'll be generic and boring. Yeah, they're already. Lisa, come play with it, and then go and talk to the Boyd one, and you'll see that even just the first two iterations are completely different, and they're constantly getting more different, which is really fun. And I think necessary, right? I think this is going to be the way to go. I can't believe it went right to a song. That's kind of random. Like you do. Man, if only you could put in Skippy.
just getting it booted up again. And you're right, I could. Um, yeah, let me see.
Yeah, for sure. Lisa's saying let's invite each community from Genesis to set up. We definitely can do that, but we've actually set MetaMinds up as another company. There is a cost for us to run these things, and to set them up. So we can't just like spin them out for free. But we'll definitely make the best possible deal we possibly can for anybody that you guys are connected to. Because yeah, we want these things in as many discords as we possibly can. Faux show. Thanks, Lisa. Love you too. Ask the planets, right? Yeah, we'll just go to the horoscope and be like, what should we do?
On the bright side, it may not have crashed because of anything I did, because I'm just having a hard time getting the Replit to load even to restart. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we'll just give it 10 seconds.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Man, it's been nuts. Oh, I mean the planets for TLM. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a possibility, right? Like, I suppose we could always whip up a proposal and stuff for sure. And really, like, yeah, definitely want to make it work. The new way, indeed. The new way, indeed. Excuse me.
Aha, we're coming back, I think. Woo.
Cool beans. Man, I gotta go check on the LLM generator too. See what's going on there.
Yeah, good idea, just in case.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna change anything now. We'll be done here in a minute. I'll let it run. It's been grinding all day, which is great. Oh, okay. So, Lisa, if you're still here, this is Mindy. Mindy is the sort of pet / familiar submind AI that we have running inside MetaMind. And so in the fork, we would be creating another persona with different traits for like an Alien Worlds community, right? So we get to sort of make some interesting calls there. So we kind of really let you get to know Mindy. But it's just, the whole system is really amazing. So Mindy every once in a while will just start talking by themselves, which is kind of fun. Oh man, okay. So, and draws in ASCII too, which is really, really, really funny. All right, cool beans. And yeah, Lisa, you just got to come say hi in the Uplift Discord. That's where it'll make tons of sense. History of AI during the 50s and 60s. Presumably Turing is somewhere in there. That's fun. This is cool. Okay, yeah. So like the task planner seems like it's really disconnected, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, this is what when I said I
Oh.
hate the first 3 agents. I really hate the first 3 agents. I'd rather do something different for them, but I haven't gotten around to it. So
Right.
I often just remove them after I get things started.
Right.
They're not always useless, but they just don't boot up well,
Yeah, it's tough to. I've definitely seen it though. You were telling me before, like, kind of ignore the first few, tweak it, and it starts to get kind of dialed in. The more,
Yeah, we're not even
more it's
one
working.
loop through, right? Once you're a couple of loops through the conversation, things really do stabilize, and then you can throw a new agent in to change the conversational direction a bit, usually.
Yeah. Okay, so it went straight to Hugo and Nebula award-winning science fiction recommendations. That's fun. I mean, All Systems Red is objectively good. The 3-body problem is kind of dark. I have never seen this City We Became thing. That's fun. All right, so Agent 4 just kind of likes them all. Which one is the one that you just put in, do you think? You're muted if you're trying to talk.
I just ran a list agent, so you should be able to see.
Oh, got it. Yeah, so 4. Oh, 4 is MetaMind. Okay. Okay. You write. Oh, that's where the country music comes from. I didn't see that. It's like automatically just like, hey, we're gonna write songs. What's up?
I find this really interesting as a recommendation engine, right? That's why I threw the sci-fi agent in as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it repeats, but it's also been very interesting and helped find some stuff.
Your suggested country music lyrics definitely capture the essence of productive discussions and teamwork. Indeed. Yeah, it's almost like the I wonder if we should be better at voting on these things on the fly. Just I'm thinking about in terms of like what happens when we feed all of this into the large language model later on.
Yeah, so these aren't going to the same log file.
Okay.
They're going to a discussion log file, which is
Got
a
it.
little separate. But honestly, like even bad content generated from GPT-3 can be good pairs,
Right.
right?
Right.
So it's not necessarily that we should not include the
I sort of, and again, we're testing our first large language model, guys. We're trying to build it today. I was building an app last night and early this morning to do that. Which again, like if you guys know me, like I can't code. It's just we just have GPT-4 is just blowing the world up. So yeah, and I can't wait to get to testing that. And we actually made it just because we wanted to make it kind of small. We just made it from the Mindy logs, just because they're so adorable and effective, right? Like just like Mindy's shockingly smart. For again, like I want to definitely dig into those prompts as well to kind of get a gauge on how you made that happen because it really works.
Quantum Thief is a great series if you haven't read it.
I
Water
haven't.
great book too. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Can I just say, as your friend, I've never had a friend who had read not more science fiction books than me, but like significantly more. That has never happened in my life.
Yeah, no, it's definitely always been a passion of mine, and it's fun, like you say, to have people to talk to about it. My partner goes through a lot too, so we can
Awesome.
always use them as a common reference frame.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. That Accelerando. Seriously, like I keep going
Yeah,
back.
he recommended that one to me actually. So,
All right.
yeah,
High five to him.
It was also that the pet was his idea, and we were just sitting around, and he was like, MetaMind needs a pet. I was like, you know what? Pets teach responsibility, and so we started there.
that definitely works. And really, for anyone watching this in the future, one of the things I forgot to talk about on that first little show I was on today, thanks to Tom Ross for inviting me on that little panel, the haiku memory stuff. We have the ability to actually I'll do it right now. At any point, and anyone can do this. You run haiku mem, boop 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 boop, boink, and it goes through the log and it creates a haiku. And I mean, really, at the end of the day, a haiku is taking a whole bunch of meaning and context and trying to compress it in as few syllables as possible in an organized way, right? So it's essentially a compression algorithm. And so we're creating this entire log of haikus, and it can basically start to recall things from the context of that haiku memory specifically, and sometimes in conjunction with its main memory. And it's like magic. It is like an intuition kind of thing is how I sort of picture it in my particular brain grapes. But it's just it produces some really, really amazing results. We're using haikus for memory compression, and it's working. And this timeline is awesome. If I were a mad scientist experimenter, go on. Okay, we're going to incorporate large language models and play models to optimize resource allocation. Yeah, see, now it's getting, my kind of weird. Fun. And this, this just goes on forever until it solves, things. Or just keeps going. It'll just keep having ideas. One idea begets another idea, begets another idea. And then suddenly we dismantle the moon and turn it into Computronium. You're still on mute, Chris.
Whoops, my bad. But yeah, right? Like these start with humble origins, but you never know where we'll get to.
Yeah, it's funny. On that panel that I was on today, the one guy that was sort of making predictions like, oh, we might see AGI in 10 years. I'm like, no, dude, we're gonna see AGI. Like if we constrain it so that it's not like a pie in the sky thing, but so that it's artificial general intelligence, it is around as smart as a person and can do all the things an average person can do. End of the year for our team, for us, end of the year. Like that, this is coming, not 10 years from now, like really, really soon. And if we have it, I'm now like the more I think about it, the more convinced I am. OpenAI has this already. Like they must have just absolutely ridiculous stuff already going on in their robot brains. Skippy.
Right? Yeah, let's see how it goes, right?
Skippy. That in again, if you're just coming to this or just as a review, try that Council 2 command, if only to find out what Skippy has to say about anything, because it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be good. List of agents.
All right, 9 is usually where I stop right now. So yeah, we can just let it run for a loop while we wind down the chat and see how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get. Oh, getting up at 4:30 is dumb, but
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep.
So it's on my list with this discussion command to save every agent that's ever been added, so that we can just recall a list of them and choose who to add.
Hot swap. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right, more country songs because that was good. Wow. I mean, this is the thing with some of these song lyrics too. Like, I could just crank out tunes.
Right? My dad, easily. I think, is thinking about a solo album, and he sends me suggestions all the time for GPT-4.
I like it.
Send him stuff. You can ask it for tab back. GPT-4 is quite smart, so it'll give you a lick and a melody that you can work with.
Oh, that's cool. I always just do chords so that I can interpret it.
Yeah, but it'll do tab too.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Fun. Agent 6. Seriously, I'm just hanging out waiting for Skippy. I'm obsessed. All right. So yeah, AI assisted decision making. I mean, we're gonna have this. Autonomous project management is like one of my little holy grails to create some kind of MVP that rhymes with that. Collaborative AI project management, explore how AI can be used to facilitate collaboration between project team members or between AI team members, right? Like that's really where a lot of this has to go. There we go. Yeah, emotional AI for project management. And this is where we start talking about doing like, empathy or more intense ethics or morality or alignment subminds that we can start to make them really, really amazing. All right, here he is. Well, look who's getting experimental. These ideas are definitely pushing the boundaries of traditional project management, but let's not forget that AI technology is not a silver bullet, can't solve all problems. That being said, I'm intrigued by the idea of emotional AI for... Is this Skippy?
That's Skippy. He's okay, but like again, my system prompt is 2 or 3 times longer in Council. So
man, it's so good. Yeah, I'm just gonna duct tape that one to my notepad at some point. All right. So okay, I gotta run. But yeah, Chris,
awesome.
Thank you for doing
this was fun, right?
Yeah.
We should
next
do this
week,
more often, just as an update. But...
Same bat time, same bat place. Yeah, and really, like even in a few days, if you want, like at any point, we can just hop in here and do this because there's just so many holy crap moments. We couldn't even cover a tiny percentage of them.
It's been a really fun month, and yeah, thanks for playing, everybody. Please, you can't tire it out, so go for it.
Cheers.
Bye all.
You can't tire it out. It's